Hello, welcome to Craw Security. So I will discuss about the absolute path and relative paths. So what are absolute path and what is relative path? So I will show you by this by using some examples. So what is the use of today we will discuss about this particular topic. So we will discuss relative path and absolute path. So what is relative path? So when we want to check where we are working, so we are working in this particular location and we want to move the another location. So we can use this particular path and we can use this particular path. So the path that start with slash sign, it's called absolute path. Absolute path. And any particular path that not start with the slash sign, so called relative path. This path is always start from the working directory. Like I will show you this by using some examples. Suppose at this time we are working in this particular location and we want to move this. Suppose we want to move to videos. We want to move this particular location. This is where. So where I am working at this time, this location. So in this particular command, we use this particular path. So this particular path called absolute path. It's called absolute path. ABSO, absolute path. So we can say that it's called absolute path. That start always with slash sign, and when we use like this particular, we want to move in another location first. Exit from this location. So now we are working in which location? I will check by using this particular command. This. So move to this particular location, then you will select another location. You can select route. In this, you can select another location. So this is called relative path. So in this we not use the slash sign. So this is double dot. So when the path start with slash sign like this, so that's called absolute path. The path that start without the slash sign, so it's called relative path. So we can use both paths. Sometimes relative is best and sometimes absolute can be best. So we can use both the paths. It can be a relative and it can be a absolute. So we can use this one and this one also. So this is the concept related to the relative and absolute path. I will show you another example also here. Suppose we want to create a directory, then data 1. In this we create this particular directory, and in this. So when we create this, so use this particular concept. So you can create your directory, this one, because I am not have this particular directory and also this particular directory. This will automatically create this one, and this one. So this is the concept to create the directory at the same time. It will create the parent directory first, then it's create the child, then again child. And we want to move this data and data 1. Then this, and we want to use in this which path I have used. This is called absolute path, and this one I am also using the absolute path, and I am creating this again. At this time I am creating this in this particular location. It means this current location. So this particular path also called the relative. We can use this relative path and absolute path with each and every command. It can be cd, it can be mkdir, it can be cp, anything. We can use this. So this one, and we want to move in this location like this. So this sign, at this time we are not using this particular sign because this is my current location and I'm moving this particular location. So we want to check in which location we are working. At this time we are working in data 1, Delhi, Agra, Delhi. So this is the full path that start with slash sign, so it's called absolute path. When any particular path start with without the slash sign, so it's called relative path. So this is the concept to relate the path that can be a reference. It means it can be a relative and it can be a absolute. So this is the process to use the path. So we can use absolute path, always start with this particular sign. And when we start any path by using the working directory, it means current directory, we can say that. Any path start with the current location. So it's called relative path. So there are two types of path. The path can be a absolute and the path can be a relative. So this is the process to use path. It can be used by the cd command. It can be used. These paths can be used by cd command. Cd, it can be used by mkdir, used with mkdir, cp, mb, and so on. So these two paths can be used by any commands that related to the Linux. So in this session we will cover only these particular concepts. In the next session I will cover other Linux commands.